morning. Happy Sunday to
Hi, everybody.
you. Yes, this is exciting.
Cool.
You have a lot of exciting things on the horizon.
Second time in the lobby, so
Yeah,
this is
woohoo.
my
You're a pro.
second time.
You are a pro. I love it. Well, I want to get to the heart of your ministry first and foremost. So before we dive into some other events and logistics and things coming up, tell me the heart. Why is it that Foothills Student Ministry is so important? Why is it that you do what you do? I want to hear your heart.
Yeah. Well, we say at Student Ministry, our vision is that every student is known, loved, and cared for. And so right at the heart of it, it's relational. I mean, it's like we can be flashy and have these events and do cool things, but at the heart, it's always going to be in the context of relationship, because I just am a firm believer that's where the best ministry happens, is in the context of relationship. You know, when you're talking to a stranger, it's just much harder to share the gospel, to share Jesus. And so I think that students more so than ever need healthy relationships with adults and their peers. So that's what we try to build. I train my volunteers in that way. I try to live that out and model that. And we're just building a community brick by brick.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I'm glad that you also reiterated that now it's more important than ever. And that's what I was, as you were saying those words, that's what I was thinking. Is, you know, we're up against some battles of social media and other things that are taking genuine relationships away from this generation. And so, wow, that's amazing to think about.
Well, it's
the
been
good work you're doing.
It's been said because of social media, kids are far more connected with more students, like they're connected with more people, but to a lesser degree, like a less depth. And so we're bringing back the depth. We think that is key. You got to get to know the students. You got to love on them. You got to care for them. With the tough stuff, there's a lot of tough stuff they're going through, especially at the high school level. The stuff they're facing and being exposed to is adult stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, what is happening currently in FSM? What are you guys up to? What have you been up to this summer? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Summer is an interesting season in student ministry. Those of you families know summer is just a chaotic season. And so I learned years ago that it's best to kind of take a break in summer, kind of shift gears. And so that does a lot of things. It gives us, our volunteers, a break. You know, when you think of September through June programming every single week, just like we do here at church, our volunteers are sacrificing a night away from their spouses, their families, and so we give volunteers a break during the summer, and we shift our focus to, especially in middle school, event-centered stuff. Again, keeping the relationships going, keep the fellowship going. Because a lot of people think, man, kids have so much free time in summer, and it's like, to some degree that's true, but every week there's a different group of students on vacation, and they're at football camp, and they're over here, and so it's so much harder to get that momentum going in the summer, and so we just embrace it's a season of chaos and change. Our high school ministries continue to meet on Sundays, and so it's a smaller group, and we just kind of hang out and talk about the service each week. But yeah, so we've had some great events. We had the first event for middle school was at the park, and we went to Clark Park and just did some activities there. And then just a few weeks ago, we went to At the River. These are really inventive names, by the way. That's what I come up with. And so we were at the river and hung out there, and that was super awesome. Great weather for that, of course. And then coming up the end of this month, our last one will be the 25th of this month, and we're doing a movie night here at the church.
That's fun.
And everybody wants to know what movie we're going to see. We don't know yet. We're still working that out. It's hard to find a movie everybody likes, but so yeah, so summer is a fun time. I'm also thinking and praying. It's a time to think about the fall, to think about the next year, what we want to plan. So it's not just a season off, it's a season to think and plan and prepare for the future. That's what I'm focused on.
Yeah, so good. I've seen, I want to just plug your guys' social media. Maybe you can plug it for me, but it is amazing. I feel like you guys do such a great job of not only getting the information out there, but also just the joy that is happening. Even in this time where you sort of have taken a break, seeing the pictures of these events that you guys did prayerfully plan and were really important. You had a lot of kids show up. I mean, it was amazing to see that even with all those, you know, barriers of vacations and everything that you mentioned, that your turnout was still amazing. So what is your social media?
So we just combined middle school and high school to one page, FSM Malala. So if you find us on Instagram and Facebook, those are the two ways to find us. We do have a high school group a college age group, which is FSM 18 to 25 or 1825. I don't think there's a 2 there, but you can find them on Instagram as well.
Perfect. And that sort of segues us into how to communicate with you. How do people connect with you? How do they, if they want to get started, what should they do first and foremost?
That's a great question. So one big thing that we want to talk about today is promotion. So students and parents are always wondering, when can I start attending student ministry? Like, when's the natural time? And so the short answer is Labor Day weekend. Like after Labor Day weekend, similar to the schools, when your son or daughter is moving into 6th grade in the fall, they can start attending our weekly program. The only exception to that is our college age again. We know that seniors kind of have senioritis starting in the spring, and so they're welcome to start attending our college age group, which meets on Monday nights, 7 p.m. Early on. And so that's the promotion. In fact, we have an event coming up the 22nd. We're doing this donuts and kind of meet and greet. So if you're a parent of an incoming 6th grader, or you're a 6th grader, maybe you're just hanging out watching the live stream today, I'd love to meet you. Our volunteer team would love to meet you. So that's Sunday the 22nd from 10 to 10:30. So kind of just in between services. You can come early or stay late depending on which service you go to. And it's really meant to be a way for them to know some faces, to see some of their friends, so that after Labor Day on the 8th of September, when we open up Wednesday, they walk in and they already know some people. Yes. So it's not as, we know that 6th grade transition can be really especially challenging. So we're trying to meet you there and make that a little easier by this meetup event.
Yeah, what a gift to give to both parents and the students, you know, and from what I heard you say is both are welcome to that event. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, we have fall kickoff coming up, and we've talked about that here at Foothills for years. It sounds like you guys are going to hit the ground running, which is really exciting. There is a shift and a change that happens every fall. It's like a reset, you know, after that summer break, like you mentioned. So I don't want to miss anything. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that you want to share?
No, I think I'll just say, kind of setting that what you're saying in a different way, that I view Sunday and Wednesday, our programs, as events. So a lot of times people will be like, why aren't you doing more? Why aren't you doing this? I see Sunday and Wednesday, what we do in our program, hour or two, is an event. And so we put a lot of time, energy, and focus. I train my volunteers to that end. And so don't miss out on our Wednesday and Sunday programming. If you can make those, that's awesome. I'm sorry for those that those days don't work, but that's where we put all our energy and our time. It'll always be focused on those things. So, and with that, I hear your daughter's coming in, right?
Yes.
This fall. So I'm excited to see that and interact with her. I met her a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and Jen was telling me today she's got an incoming 6th grader. So we are pumped up in the lobby for sure for what's happening. So yes. Well, Kurt, thank you so much for joining us today in the lobby. It's great to have you. I love hearing about what you're doing. A lot of us, you know, it's kind of behind the scenes for us until our kids get in. And my daughter just moved back to the state, and that's why she's coming in a little bit later. But we're all dealing with differences in our families, and that's what's so beautiful about it. So we're excited. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you,
absolutely.